Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Coach Socrates, wide receivers coach and special teams coordinator of the Havoc. Thank you for doing this, Coach.
I appreciate it.
To start it off, I would say, how long have you been coaching football?
It's going on 11 years now, coaching semi-pro. I played a little bit in high school. I got into the league, and I think 2010. Played a little bit. Didn't really have the physical attributes that I needed to be able to succeed as much as I wanted to. So I switched over because I was up here in terms of understanding the game. I decided to be a coach.
Is this your first time working as a coach, your first semi-pro, or is this like one of many?
Definitely what I mean. I've gone as far as coaching on the defensive side of the ball. That's where I initially got my start as a defensive coordinator. Assisting defensive coordinator. I've done the D-line, linebackers, and when I got a grasp of the defense, I switched over and did the offense. I played myself as a tackle guard, so O-line is where my bread and butter is. So I decided to focus on that primarily. But so towards the end of I want to say 2019, I was an offensive coordinator. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I felt that some of the guys could benefit more from what I knew on the wide receiver standpoint, so I started to focus on that primarily.
You are working as a coach anywhere else at this same given time as the Havoc?
So alongside of coaching the Havoc, I actually coach for Milford High School. It's a school closer to Worcester County, in Worcester County, I should say. I'm the wide receivers coach over there for the varsity team, along with the special teams coordinator. But I also do the offensive coordinator position for the sub-varsity team.
And how long have you been there?
1 year now, 1 year. My goal is actually to coach next level, so I'm in the process of getting together with UMass Amherst coaching staff to be able to progress in my career.
Segue into my next question. How long do you think, with given the UMass, how long do you think you will coach with the Havoc?
That I would say we take that year by year. Depends on what the opportunity is for me. If I were to get a job next year coaching UMass, unfortunately I wouldn't be able to have the time that I need to be able with the Havoc. So as long as I have the opportunity to be able to clear up my schedule to be here for these guys, that would be definitely my number one commitment.
Segueing into wide receivers coach, are you of the philosophy of because I noticed you were talking about this before, like the circle or like the triangle.
So it's
and in case people are wondering who are watching this, it's how a receiver catches the ball with his hands.
So there are different ways. Every coach is different in terms of how they want to coach their particular techniques. At the end of the day, it's all about fundamentals. Football is a game of fundamentals, no matter it's on the offensive side of the ball or the defensive side of the ball. You as a coach has to find out what's easiest for you to be able to transition that to your players. So you'll hear from a lot of coaches, hey, let's say on the offensive side of the ball, what offense are you going to run? A lot of coaches couldn't even answer that because you don't know what type of players you have. So if I have the capacity to be able to teach my guys to catch the ball this way or this way, it all depends on what their body allows them to be able to put them in the best possible scenario to win us the game.
Do you have an idea so far yet with the players you've worked with so far of that kind of idea of what is going to match their skill set?
Not at the current moment. This is going on to be our second practice. So at the current moment, these last couple of weeks that have gone by, and talking to the players individually, it's all a matter of being able to just evaluate the players that come along. I've been fortunate enough to work with 4 guys individually. Myself, I expect more players to be out there, and as I continue to develop them to find out where they go and what fits for them, it'll be a lot easier for me to make that decision.
Special teams. What is your philosophy in terms of special teams coaching?
Special teams is my favorite part of the game because it's the least mentioned. You have the offensive side of the ball, you have the defensive side of the ball, but that's 2/3 of the game. Special teams, you'll hear oftentimes wins most games if you can, whether it's making extra points, being able to kick a punt down the field and be able to recover it. So in terms of my specific philosophy, it's going down the field and being loud with your pads, making contact and being I want to say violent hits, and always putting safety as the number one. You want to make sure when you step on special teams, it allows me to work with both the offense and defense. So I essentially have a relationship with everybody on the team. If you're not already a starting position, that's where you make your start. That's where you have the defensive coordinator say, oh my God, he's actually a pretty good runner and his technique is pretty decent. And because I'm seeing him perform in special teams, I have a position that I might benefit the team on the defensive side of the ball or the offensive side of the ball. So special teams I hold dear to me because that's where I got my start. So definitely worth the while, and I can't wait to see these guys work for me.
These will be my last 2 questions for you, Coach. Are you back to wide receivers? Are you kind of a guy that emphasizes them to be versatile, or to stay within the confines of what they are good at and most utilize that skill set to betterment of the team?
So again, wide receiver philosophy. There are 3 main things that I love to emphasize on, and it's the 3 rules of leverage. In terms of a wide receiver going up against a defensive player, you have to be versatile. You can't be one-minded. You can't be one particular player. You can have a deep threat guy, and you can have a short route guy. If you decide to be just specifically tailored to running a set amount of routes, when you step on the line, that defender already knows how he's going to defend you. So being able to work all the different tools in your bag is beneficial to any player. In terms of my 3 rules of leverage philosophy, it's my job and opportunity to be able to coach all of my wide receivers in terms of technicalities, so it's a boxing match. If my wide receiver is going to throw a punch out there, the defender is going to counter, and my receiver has to be ready for the counter punch. So it's a back and forth game, give or take, and you have to prepare yourself to go to the next level and decide what your next move is going to be. So I'm looking forward to the season. I'm looking forward to my players, and I can't wait to start.
My last question, what are your expectations of how this team can perform this season? I know we're a very new team, maybe a young and mixed old team, but I feel like we do have a little bit of spunk. How do you feel?
Across all positions, when you're one-on-one, they tell you football is a team sport. If my job as a wide receiver is to go and beat my defender, and I can win that one-on-one, I've done my job. And if every single player on our team, whether it be offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball, or special teams, can do the same thing, that'll allow the team to be able to succeed in all avenues that we face on the field. Just being able to win your one-on-one battles.
All right, thank you, Coach Socrates. I hope to have a great season with you. I hope you, ladies and gentlemen, enjoyed. See you next time.
I appreciate it, Freddie. Thank you again, Coach.
Got to change hands.
That's it.